I'm going to give us a little bit more time to do a long line of the rest of the Right, so
well, I'm gonna pretend like I didn't hear you just say that. Or that's something that your admin is taking and being more narrow than others are allowed. Because as far as small group and centers, I'm doing my center first.
I know that's
I'm retiring. I'm not retiring. Well, you just made my blood pressure go up. Let me tell you, I got a headache last Tuesday after I got out of that meeting, and I still have a headache. And it's from here to the inside of my brain. And I'm. Yes. Yeah, Bob keeps sending me text messages. Bob's like, it's okay. I'm not, no lie. Like, he sent me twice. It's going to be okay. He doesn't even know what's going on. He just knows me well enough to know that I need him to reinforce that it's going to be okay. Yeah. I don't know. Well, you too. I'm sure we'll see. We'll need to get together someday and debrief. You do, you do. Yeah. You didn't hear that. See the young girl standing. She could be my daughter. You would have to pinch her leg. You would have to pinch her leg. She sat across from me that. She and I couldn't even say walk.
It's a map, so I've got to
Go through Brandy's first. No, Alex got it now.
Alright, so we're going to go into our lesson, and I'm going to tell you how to get everything you need.
No, I'm good. I'm good. My computer's so good.
Alright, so go ahead and log into the again. For reference, the presentation is kind of different. And instead of being on the top, it's on the left hand side. Make sure try to switch to Google and see that map. Oh! If anyone else needs a laptop, let me know because I can help you. Alright, so I'm going to share with you what I'm going to do so you kind of know where I'm going with this. I'm going to go to the editable lesson plan, okay? We know at the beginning of a lesson, you're going to do what? I mean, beginning of a module?
Launch.
You're going to launch. So I'm going to walk you through your launch. Then I'm going to take you through that structured literacy piece. And then the vocabulary and the shared reading. We'll have time to hit that too, but that's going to be easy for you to do. The vocabulary and the shared reading. The biggest shift is really going to just be looking at the TE, knowing where to, or looking at the lesson plan, going to the TE, gathering your resources, and then that structured literacy piece. So I really want us to make sure that you are familiar with that. So I am deviating from the PowerPoint. So if you go into the because she didn't go in this order, so I'm switching around. All right, so we're gonna go to Discover. You guys mind if I sit down?
No. Please sit.
So I'm gonna go to discover. Let me know if you're not able to get here. And we are starting with module 1, so you're just gonna keep it hovered over module 1. I'm in 2nd grade. I'm going to be a super citizen in module 1. And I'm going to, you see teacher's guide, my book, view resources. We're gonna click on structured literacy, because this is the path where I want you to go to get your editable lesson plan. You're gonna open that. And then you're gonna see module 1. Go ahead and love that so it can show in your favorites. I'm gonna go back to show everyone again. All right, discover. You're going to go to structured literacy lessons, module 1, weeks 1, 2, and 3. Kindergarten, what did yours say?
1, 2, 3, and 4.
1, 2, 3, and 4. Yes. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to open, and I'm going to click on module 1. Does anyone need to see it again?
Quick question.
Yeah.
Does this stop at K2?
Structured literacy? Yes.
Okay.
K2. They still have foundational skills practice 3, 4, and 5, but it's just a different path. All right, so you should see on the right-hand side, editable weekly plans. I want you to go through it right that way because it'll have the correct structured literacy on there. Once you click on that, see this. Okay? So you should see whatever your grade is, module 1, week 1. You should all be in module 1, week 1, but in your course, your specific grade band. Okay, we're gonna start with this document because we're always gonna start with our lesson plan, okay? We know that we start each lesson with build knowledge, each module with build knowledge and language. And we know we do that at the beginning of the module. If you're a kindergarten, you're going to do that at the beginning of the week. So someone asked, how do we build language or knowledge and launch the module with the language? So keep this open. Go back to your home page, discover. Stay in that module 1. And you're going to go to your teacher's guide. So discover. We initially clicked on structured literacy, but you're going to click on your teacher's guide. Okay? So again, I'm in 2nd grade. Be a super citizen is the launch of my module. I'm going to pause to make sure everyone can get there. If you can't get there, let me know, because I want you to be able to follow along. So go back to Discover, go to Module 1, and then we're going to go to Teacher's Edition. All right. We're going to go to our content. And I see Module 1, be a super citizen. But I'm going to go to week 1. Okay? You got it? Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and go to that week at a glance, just so we can see where are we going. And you know that you had this, yes.
We had an oops. And I don't know how to get the.
Oh.
It wasn't me.
You want to? I have a Dell, Mark. Okay. You want the Dell or you probably?
I can share.
So you want, I'll show you. Of course, why not? I have all day. So discover. You'll hover over that module and you'll scroll down to the teacher's guide. Right here. Right here. Teacher's guide. What grade again?
Second.
Just know if I might be a little slow because I'm in there slow. This is our week at a glance. We know we're gonna launch it with build knowledge and language. The reason why I had you go to your editable lesson plan first, because when you go into your TE and you see foundational skills, what do?
Ignore him.
Ignore it. Don't look at it. So I want you to always start with that plan because it'll guide you. And if you see something in here that doesn't align, it's because it does not. Okay? All right, so we know we're going to start with our build, knowledge, and language. Then our lesson is going to progress into that structured literacy. We're going to go to our reader's workshop. If you notice on lesson 1, the reason why you don't see vocabulary is because it's embedded when we launch the modules, okay? Yeah. So the flow of your lesson, typically, you're going to start with your structured literacy, your vocabulary, and then your shared reading. And those are the focuses that the district has outlined initially. That's all we're focusing on. You can either use your hamburger or you can use your tabs. But I just want to know, what am I reading for my first week? So it's going to show you your text. It's going to show you your centers, but I'm not worried about that yet. I'm not doing centers until September. All right. Introduce the topic. So how do you launch the lesson? It's going to tell you. So you will have, again, a hard copy of this. The benefit of the electronic version, because there are so many resources, it tells you everything you need in the electronic one. And when you click it, it'll come up. So I need my display and engage. I need my teaching pal, the My Book, that's of course the student resource, the Get Curious video, and the vocabulary cards. And you also have the vocabulary card box in your room. So how do we access the prior knowledge? Reveal the module topic by projecting, display, and engage. So I'm going to click on this knowledge map. Point to the center of the knowledge map. Tell the children that the text they will read all relate to citizenship. So, if you like, so I was kind of picky about my resources in my room. I like to do it as we were learning. So you can either project this. You can project the knowledge map, or you can create it on your own. It's up to you, right? Yes, I'm not working smarter, not harder. I love it.
So you just click on it.
So have the children brainstorm word associations for citizenship and then add them to the web. It's telling you how to launch it. Then it's saying build background. So how are you going to build the background? In your teaching pal, telling you where to go. Where are you going? So we know this is not kindergarten because how do we know? It says teaching pal. You guys have the book sticks. Use pages 8 through 11. Use the prompts to begin developing the module topics as children follow along in their MyBook. So again, your teaching pal is an annotated version of the MyBook. There'll be prompts. You just follow those prompts, okay? Discuss the quotation. Lead a discussion about the quotation by Christopher Reed. Remember, it always starts with a quotation, an essential question. You're going to share the essential question, and then you're going to play that Get Curious video. Okay? Then, big idea words. Use the vocabulary routine for the vocabulary parts. Boom, we launched them out. See how easy that was? Go ahead. Oh, it was that, because it was that quick. I'm just letting you know that's how you're gonna get through it. You're gonna show your knowledge map, how the kids brainstorm word associations about citizenship. Okay, we did that. Then you're gonna read the text 8 through 11. Don't go to page 12. 8 through 11, you're reading the prompts. Then you're going to discuss the quotation. Essential question. How can being a good citizen make a difference to others? Boom. Active viewing. You're going to play that Get Curious video. And then you're going to go to your vocabulary words. See how easy that was? How do you feel about launching the video? How do you feel? I mean, launching the module. Oh. That's easy, right?
Out there, yeah, it's step by
Are
step.
you seeing how you can integrate this? How you smooth those into your life?
I'm gonna pull a advanced learner thing on
Okay.
the routines that it talks about throughout each edition, like the vocabulary routine and the part word routine and stuff like that. Where can we find that?
I'm gonna show you. Yes, thank you. So the routines, like I shared with my friends this morning, it's like to me, a throw up green color, right? So where it says active viewing, vocabulary routine, teaching with instructional routine. It's gonna be in that module. You click that. Hold on. There's another way to get to it that's easier. Let me show you that. I'm gonna show you an easier way to get to it, okay? So you're gonna go to discover. There's a way easier way. Thank you for bringing that up. Because this is gonna be important to make sure you get to that systematic explicit instruction. So discover all resources, instructional routines. Boom. Instructional routines. And you can love it. This one will have all of them. And it's color coded. So you know the blue, the teal, that's a vocabulary instructional routine. Or if you want to, you can go through it independently. Yes.
Well, I have a question when you're finished answering. Are you finished?
Was that?
Yeah.
There's another way, that's an easier way to get to it, but a lot of times on the left-hand side, it'll say instructional routines when we get into the structured literacy. When we get into the structured literacy component, the instructional routines will be linked on the left-hand side. Yeah.
So like on ours, like the chart, it says like there will be a chart that says curious about kinder, like that, like you just,
I'm gonna go to kindergarten.
okay. So I'm in B1, lesson 1. In my teacher's edition. Okay, so like that chart right there that says curious about kindergarten. So do we now, we just got like delivered yesterday. We have not even had time to like look at what we got because we had to hide it because we had to get ready for kinder camp. Well, we had to get ready for kinder camp this morning. Yeah, so like, you know, so like that little curious about kindergarten poster. So if I click on it in here, I could show it on my smart board. But do we have hard copies of those?
Yes.
Okay.
Or if not, boom.
Well, no, they ain't no boom because you got to have everything all up for kindergarten.
Yeah,
You know, you got to have it all like.
You have the posters.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
You do have the posters.
There's no like.
So
Gotta
the
have
good
it
thing,
all
so
together.
last week when I was with the district, they didn't have any materials, right?
Oh.
So if you lose something, it's always going to be accessible. All your materials for that lesson will be on the left-hand side. It will tell you everything you need right then and there. which will be helpful in your plans as you gather your things that you need. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's overwhelming because there's so much and we got so much yesterday and yeah.
I understand, but you're gonna be over prepared. It's just gonna take you a minute just to internalize all of
Yeah.
that stuff. That's gonna be the biggest barrier, because once you get into it, it'll be easy. Any questions about how we, go ahead.
I know this is not about this, but we do get a sound wall right in there.
Yes.
It's not ready though yet, right?
The sound walls, we're actually getting printed sound walls. You can go in there and find. sound
Oh, you're
walls.
printing it for them?
It's 290 pages.
HMH is getting them ready for us.
Okay.
So, I talked with our rep this morning and, she's just waiting on our final numbers for classrooms and they'll be on the way. So they can have those. So
Any
ready.
questions on launching the module? So if we go back to our editable, plan, build knowledge and language, we did that. What are we moving to next? Structure literacy. All right, we're in Discover, unless you saved it and it's in your favorites. We're in Discover. You have a question? Go ahead.
I have a question. If we already have a sound wall up, do you want us to take account and use the one that you provide for us?
They should
Let
already
it,
say it.
let this one come in and then if you feel like there's a need to keep the one up that's up, we'll talk at that point. But I'd like for them to be consistent for students to have the same reference, if that makes sense. So as students change classes and rooms and things, that they have a familiarity with what's up there. But not saying it absolutely has to come down sound wall, pretty much as a sound wall, so we'll.
Is that for day 2 that they're getting?
Yes. Paper 2 will all have printed sound walls.
Any questions before we go into structured literacy? This is gonna be the shift. Everything else, you've been doing it, and you've been doing it well. You've been doing the structured literacy too under different names, and we're just gonna refine that practice now. All right, so unless you saved it and it's in your favorites, we're gonna go to Discover. We're still in module 1. And just so you know, so just so I can give like an overview, living phonemes and segmenting phonemes, closed syllables, handwriting, NT, closed syllables, irregular words. And it's telling me lesson size, module 1, week 1. Okay? That's what I'm doing for structured literacy. So I'm going to go to structured literacy, module 1, weeks 1, 2, and 3. Kindergarten, you going to module 1, weeks what? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. This is the event. I love it. All right, so I'm in module 1, structured literacy. We're gonna go to lesson 1, and I'm gonna go to, you can download your slides here, or you can just go straight to your ebook, and they will be right here. So like I shared, with structured literacy, everything's going to be on, everything you need for your lesson is going to be on that left-hand side. Your routines, my friend, they're embedded right here. Continuous blending, write and reveal, word practice, hard words, your decodable text, even though you have a hard copy in your letter sound. Everything is here. So we did our opening of the module on Monday. Or I'm not gonna say Monday because I don't want you to get stuck like this has to be done on Monday too, because we know school. I know like my nieces and nephews went back to school today, so you're gonna kind of be off. So don't worry about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So we did that on our first day of instruction. We launched our module. Now we're gonna meet the foundational friends. The foundational friends are included in the structured literacy daily lesson. Use the slides to help facilitate and celebrate children's learning journeys throughout second grade. Say, this week we will meet our foundational friends. They will join us as we learn to spell and read. Let's warm up by listening to the sounds and words before we start. Let's put on our strong listening ears. Pretend and adjust your ears to model getting ready. So activity 1, let's blend phonemes. I will hold up my fingers as I say the sound. Then I will slide my fingers. Where are my kindergarten friends? I need a kindergarten. Do it for me. Come on. You gotta model listen for it. Like this. So you're just blending. Try this with me. hold up the fingers for each sound. Your turn. Boom. That's activity 1. Activity 2. Listen as I do the first one. Hat. You see, it's nothing new to what you've been doing. Let's keep going. All right, the finest vocal skill is closed syllables. Let's learn about syllables. You're just gonna go, I do want you to see the slides though. So you're gonna click on the slides, they're gonna download. I'm sorry, you click on the slides, the lesson slide on the right hand, the left hand side. So this is a slideshow that will show your students. And everything you're supposed to do will be in that lesson that I was just referencing, okay? So don't be alarmed, there are gonna be lots of slides, but when you're going through the sounds, it goes by quickly, and as you blend them, like if there are 3 sounds in the word, that's 3 slides, so there might be a lot of slides. Like this is a slide, this is a slide, this is a slide. So those are your slides for blending, or your whole lesson, I'm sorry. I do want to see. So you have your spelling, your irregular words, and then your decodable text. Any questions on what that will look like? How you guys feeling? Did you say the animals were so cute?
The video, they are so cute.
I love it. Do you guys want to see a structured literacy lesson model?
Yes.
Okay.
Before we do that, I know I'm gonna have students ask, do the structured literacy friends have names?
So they do, some of them do, some of
Because I
them
know
don't.
they're gonna ask.
They do.
Because I didn't see it anywhere.
Some of them, so there's 3 main ones that do, because when I was in the training, they said them, but all of them might not. So that could be something you guys do as a class, and with your routines, you're getting them ready and naming them. Even if they had names, I would still make my own.
So let's meet them.
No.
He would. So a question will put the lesson slide, that's gonna be for each lesson. And your structured literacy block is gonna be between like 30 and 45 minutes. Probably more so on the higher end of 45 when you first start. Because we're trying to get to that authenticity and making sure they know the routines and the structure. So you're gonna be on closer to 45. If it takes longer, take your time. Do what you need. Because again, we're just focusing on that structured literacy, that shared reading, and the vocabulary is embedded within that. Any other questions? Let me see if the sound is good. Oh no, does anyone know what to do with the sound? Because I don't want to harass my friend again.
Click on the speaker at the bottom. Should the speaker at the bottom with the little arrow?
This one?
Yeah, go further a little. Yeah.
Oh.
And then you can do.
You said what?
Up at the top, you're gonna select.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Try the other one.
Try that.
No.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Everyone has a pencil?
Yep.
But it's coming from here, how do I get in?
It's okay, we can hear that.
Okay.
If people stop
Stop
talking.
talking.
All right, so this is gonna be second grade.
Whiteboard marker ready to go. Yes?
Can you hear?
All right, so before we start, could you just turn and talk with someone next to you about something we might have been learning this week in structured literacy? If you're not sure, then just listen to someone next to you. Just something you remember that we talked about so far this week in structured literacy. What have you learned about so far this week? We spell words. What else? Tell them that. Tell them that. Okay, let's share out here. What's something you've learned so far this week with structured literacy? Savannah? SH. Everyone say SH. Something else, everyone. Everyone say PH.
Looks like.
Oh, that's two TH sounds, right? Let's make the sound TH and TH, right? One more thing. Let's do something we work on. Ready? Okay, everyone say CK. Oh, CK, PH, SH, TH. What are those called? All those sounds. We call those sounds. Diagrams, everyone say diagrams. Okay, so we're gonna start our lesson with some blending, ready? Remember, I'm going to give you the sounds. You're gonna repeat the sounds, and we're gonna blend it together. You ready? Get your fingers ready. Let's count them together, okay? Oh, good. Now we're gonna chop it up. Now we're gonna segment. You ready? Repeat the word, and then we'll count the sound. And Wow. All right, on the screen here, let's do a little, I'm gonna show you the graphic. And you're gonna do the homework. All right, let's do it together. Oh.
I haven't got that.
Yeah,
That's what I haven't done yet.
excellent job. All right. Now I'm going to give you the full meaning. You're going to write the graphic. Are you ready? Let me write for and G. You know how many sounds are, put up on your fingers. How many sounds are there? Roger, what are they? And what are they? C, K, C, and K. Next one. CH, excellent, next one. Talia? CH. Ready for the next one? Right, second one, what do we have for- Okay. Another CH, excellent. Fire, what do we have for fire, please? Number two, excellent. Question, excellent. Ooh. L and LL. How about A? Anyone? Hey. A. A. It's very good. A. Yes. Oh, excellent. Capital market, please. Let's look up on our screen here, please. Capital market, can you roll over there? We'll come back to it. Let's work on our blending. All right, you know when you're ready. Let's look here, you ready? So continuous blending here, we're going to stay together. We're gonna look back arrow. Are you ready? Excellent. Yeah. Excellent. All right. There's a lot to this one, guys. Put it together. Someone's kind of going. Attention here. Okay, so we're doing through here. We're gonna do a little starting for you. Okay. Everyone, okay. Everyone do this favor. Talia? Everyone likes to? Excellent, there's many others. Happy markers in the practice time. All right, also when it says, ooh, like in the word.
I also kind of mistake If ING goes together, have to say it together or in it.
whatever we want in the next time. All right, everyone say. We want to, when you hear, I just real quick, we want to like this one when we hear that first sound, right? Why one right now? Why one right now? That sound. Or dialogue. Yeah. Right now, before we do this, let's get everyone up there, right? That's the big arrow. The big together, right? Right? Sun. Wait, then the arrow. Right, that's the yeah. Together. Sun, yeah, excellent. That's part. Down. Down. So notice here, there's now here, a ocean. Five, 4, 3, 5, 8. All right. What are you doing?
So this is nothing too different than what you've already been doing, right?
Right.
See how this integrates into what you've already been doing? We can continue, or you can come back and watch the end of it later. What do you All right.
So we have spelling assessments that I'm kind of getting this in my mind because I did something a little different last year. We have spelling assessments each week, but yet the dictation is only going to be on a few sentences, right? So that's not considered the spelling, part of the spelling.
Yeah, so with the structured literacy, the spelling component is going to be incorporated in every lesson, right? So whether you do that formally on Friday or if you do an assessment as you're walking around, because just the theory kind of behind the practice with the spelling words, we had students just memorizing words versus memorizing the patterns and the rules behind the words, right? So that would be the shift of making sure we're incorporating it daily in our instruction. And then how you choose as a teacher or school or district to formally assess that, or how you want to do it as a grade. In my opinion, I'm not supposed to say this, but I feel like you should just more so assess it for your own teaching and your own guidance. But if you want to do it on Friday, that's on you.
We chose not to do it last year.
For my integration is while I'm right here, I'm going to show you something, okay? In structured literacy, if you have students, which you will, so if I'm communicating, what's your name? Yeah. Bianca saying, Katie, I have a group of kids, my students receiving tier 2 support, that they did not understand this specific skill. What Katie can do, she can go to additional resources, foundational skills, and word study studio alignment chart. And you click that. You're gonna open the PDF, and I'll show you again how to get to it. So you have, I'm gonna just go to without kind of show kindergarten. Alright, so I'm with first grade, and I have students that were still struggling with short A and I, okay? These are resources that will help me with that skill. So there's numbers, 142, 127, 36, and so on. Tabitha, she's struggling with short A. So Katie, Tabitha and some friends, okay? They're struggling with short A. So Katie's pulling a group already that receives tier 2 support, but she really wants to hone in on that specific skill because we always want our tier 2 support to be in addition to our tier 1. She already has short A and short I in her classroom, but she needs additional support or they need additional support. So I'm gonna pull words with short A, 142. Remember that number. Because when I go back to ed, and I go to discover, and I press search program, I can type session 142, and everything I need for that lesson, an additional resource, and a mini lesson, it's gonna be right here. Everything you need, okay? And while this is not a specific intervention, I just want you to know the instructional practices, like the Elkanon boxes, that is an intervention. So it does, you are having evidence-based interventions as you reteach. Do I need to go back and do that again? Go ahead.
On the page 5 where you were, I think it's right here, on the page 5, it looked like kind of a worksheet for practice. Is that in one of the?
Where was I? I'm sorry, which page? This one?
When you were saying if you have a friend that
Okay.
needs short A, I thought it was page 5, but it looked kind of like a practice worksheet, and I was wondering if that's in a consumable somewhere or if that's something you print when you do this lesson.
So unless it says know it, show it in front of it, it'll be something that you have to print. You have the know it, show it books for your vocabulary, for your shared reading and structured literacy, but if it's something else, you'll probably have to print that. But you just type whatever the associated number is with section, and then those resources will all come up. All right, so how we feeling?
Could you show us one more time?
Yeah. I need to X out all these tabs. I apologize. So I'm going to discover. And we were in module 1. We're in that structured literacy. I'm gonna click module 1. You'll discover 2 of them. There are other ways to get to places. I'm just showing you the easiest way for me in which my brain processes it. Because there's not 1,000 things to come up. You're gonna go to additional resources. And it's gonna be your foundational skills and word study studio alignment chart. I want you to be cautious because there is another way to get to this resource. You can go to differentiation and intervention, and this same word will come up, this wording, but it is not aligned to structured literacy. It's not used. Go through this way, okay? So you'll click that. And it really would just be a benefit just to save the PDF now, so you just have it, you can reference it. That way you don't have to go back and forth. All right, so let's go back to where we started. We built the knowledge and language of our students. We had our structured literacy lesson, and then we are going to our reading. We're going to be focusing on central idea, and we are citizens. So where am I going to go for my teacher resources for that? So we've already done, we launched the model that read, we did our structured literacy lesson. Now I want to plan for my reading lesson. Where do I go for that? That's the teacher's edition. The module 1, yes. So discover. I'm in module 1, now I'm in this teacher's guide. You can go like this if you want to. It's just up to you. I just prefer to go the other way because you still have so many you have to filter to. So it's up to you. I prefer to just go teacher's guide. And I'm gonna use that hamburger. I'm in week 1 and I'm in lesson 1. So I already introduced my topic. We already went through this part. Remember, we skipped through this because we did it through the structured literacy tab. All right, now we're in our reading. Central idea. Everything I need to have, my anchor chart, my printable anchor chart, my teaching pal, and my book where my students will go is right here. Explain that authors of informational texts usually have one important main idea or essential idea. One thing I pointed out to our group earlier, make sure, so into reading is a national curriculum, right? You want to make sure this language that's in here, central idea or main idea, also know what your standards say. So when your students are assessed, they're like, I don't know central idea, but you've been saying main idea all year. You know, just make sure you are aligned with what your state says. You're going to display the anchor chart. There it is. Tell children that the central idea is the most important idea or point about a topic. Next, tell the children that good readers determine the central idea of a text by first figuring out the topic of the text and then paying attention to supporting evidence. Tell the children they will practice identifying the central idea. So then you're going to go to your teacher pal. Step 2. In your teaching pal, pages 12 through 13, use the blue read for understanding. So remember, your teaching pal is an annotated version of the children's text, and it's telling you you're going to use the blue prompt, reading for understanding. Tell the children that the personal narrative is a type of informational text. You're going to set a purpose, read for comprehension, and then we're going to go into our independent practice of going into our essential question and then a think, pair, share. Any questions about that? Real simple, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Then there are options for differentiation. I'm not going to focus on that because we're going to get into our small groups in the first 30 days of instruction. Any questions? These are, yes.
I think so for your own like the library, so we should divide that into according to genres.
Yes.
Because you know we did lifestyle.
Yes. So genres. Yes, genres. That's a great idea. By genres. Any other questions or comments? Yes.
Can you go back one? On these independent readings, let's do the Berkeley Level Library. Will those books be in the palettes? And those are the books we should have out available for students to read?
For independent reading or scaled practice?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And are they on AR? No.
That, no, I don't believe so. I'm not gonna say, some of them, because they are authentic text, some of them might be on there, but there's not like a direct correlation for every book. But some of them will be, because there are authentic text.
Is there some sort of way to like assess them if they're not, like does it come with questions?
Yes, yes, so there are questions in the book.
Okay.
Yeah. But remember, we don't want to assess comprehension based on their level of text. That's the shift with the science of reading, because we don't want to limit our language exposure and the comprehension just from that, you know? So that's a shift in our practice. And that was something that was a big shift for me, because that's what I was taught with balanced literacy.
So let me ask you this, because you mentioned it earlier about the level, C, D, G. So we have a set that is just like the read alouds, but then a kid's library first.
Okay.
And then we have those sets. And I thought I heard somebody say that, or you say that they can read in those. So that's not specifically for small group then?
They can be.
They can be.
I just want you to just shift, because as we move towards the science of reading, just not to, so if you use them and you assess their comprehension, just make sure you're also assessing their comprehension on the shared reading as well. Is that fair to say? Because I just don't want to limit because the vocabulary still expands into other areas, but just make sure you're also using other ways to assess their comprehension, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
We haven't been able to unlock everything yet, but I did see the level reader, the ABCD for kindergarten, but are there decodable?
Yeah, so the decodables are something separate.
Okay,
Yeah.
and we are getting them, okay, great.
And interventionists, in addition to that, that chart that I showed you, where you can go to the foundational skills, there's another resource that you'll have called blended books. So that is another way to, kind of hone in on specific skills for your students beyond the decodable reader. They're called blended books. And that's in that sheet, that chart that I just showed you, it'll say blended books. But another way to get to it, if you go to all resources, differentiation and intervention, component, blended books, apply, they'll come up. But they're also in that chart. But you have to print these though. But they're in that chart aligned to specific skills. So that's just another way to do it.
So these are not in the palettes. You have to
No.
find them separate.
Blended books are an addition, like an additional layer for your kids that need additional support.
Well, these would be great for you if you had kids that mom wants something she can work on at home.
Yes, so thank you for saying that because, and I missed that. I appreciate you, kindergarten. Another thing, we want to make sure we make that home to school connection, right? That's a big piece, right? So the blended books, thank you for saying that. The blended books are a great option for you to send home. And again, that chart that I showed you, you're working on the skills. Blended books they align the blended books to what the specific skills are. So if you have kids and you need to send that home, go ahead and do that. And then you can also add another layer, have the kids color it, really make it their own, so it's their text.
Well, the vast majority of us in kindergarten have used reading A to Z for the last 4 or 5 years. So our parents are used to having, are expecting something to come home. And when I was looking through the workbooks and stuff, you know, so like, do you guys want us to tear the pages out and send them home as they do them? Is that some, I mean.
So with the decodable books though, you'll have it, if you can print the decodable books. So these are the blended books,
Right.
but you can print the decodable books that they'll have in class as well.
Okay.
So you will probably want to send home your decodable books and you can print them out versus the blended books.
Okay.
Because that aligns with what you're doing for that week.
Okay.
They can practice those skills in that book. Then if they need additional support, your interventionist can come in with those blended books.
Okay.
Any questions? Any questions? Go ahead. Don't ever hesitate to ask a question. That's what I'm here for.
The chart that you had showed that, with
The foundational word study.
yes.
Uh-huh.
How do we, I can't.
How do I get to it? Okay. So you're going to go. Start all the way out. Discover. Okay. So we were in structured literacy.
Right.
You're gonna click on that. I was in module 1. Are you in module 1?
Yes, module 1.
Content, scroll all the way down to additional resources. And you click here for the kindergarten decodable text to come here as well. And you're gonna go to foundational skills and word studies, studio alignment chart, and then open that PDF.
Wait a minute. Okay.
Right here, foundational skills and word study. And then if you open that PDF, it'll come up and you'll have it for K through 2. You're only gonna have it K through 2 on here because it's the structured literacy path. If you happen to work with students that are 3 through 5, there is another way to get to it.
And you said you clicked on what to get to that? You click contents?
I click right here on the content, additional resources at the bottom,
Okay.
and then foundational skills and word studies studio alignment. You're welcome. Any other questions with that? But so they're in order, the blended books are based on need, right? So there's not a particular progression, but if you look at, I'm trying to find,
Grade 2 has some.
trying to find. So it's this, there's not like a particular sequence of blended books, it's just based on need, but if you sort, if you go to blended books in your own resources and you kind of just kind of play with it and just look, you can do it like that. But the easiest way is just follow the chart and it'll take you straight to it. All right. And that's where we're gonna stop in our planning because we're not worried about writer's workshop. So how are you feeling about finding your resources for your first lesson? How are you feeling? Overwhelmed, Frank?
Yes. To say the least.
Just know, once you get into it and you play with your resources, it'll be all good. I do wanna show you just where your learning can continue. And then I'm gonna give you the rest of the time just to talk with your team and just plan as much as you can. All right, so we went through this. All right, so a way to support you right after this is your teacher success pathway. Okay, so we talked about the integration and how integrating can fit into your block. We talked about all the resources in ed. Another way to be supported after I leave, even though your district did purchase Coachly, you will have additional sessions. There are what you call teacher success pathways. So when you log in, it initially defaults on your dashboard. And you're able, and I'll just show you, you're able to watch these videos. You're able to watch videos on Instagram.
Welcome to Enter Reading, a comprehensive program that will help your students become successful.
Prepare for your first 2 weeks. It'll break it down. These are very helpful. I watched these here.
We know that your time is limited and you may need to pause the video and return.
Because this session, the intention is just to show you where everything is. Now that you know, once you go and open all your boxes, once you breathe, once you maybe go to, I don't know, happy hour, Bible study, whatever your vice may be, right? Whatever you may need to get through it. And you have time, you're gonna go back to these, your teacher success pathways. Because this is what's gonna help you, and then they'll start to click, oh, that's what she was talking about. But you know, you just need a minute to just digest everything. So you have your teacher success pathways. And again, the directions to go to that, they are on the PowerPoint. Also, when you do, the district did purchase a mirror and Waggle. And once you want to look at that, there's videos in classes on a mirror and Waggle as well. Additionally, you have Teachers Corner. Teachers Corner, has all types of support. They also have live events that you're able to register for. And I will tell you this, if there's a live event and it happens to be Friday at 6 p.m., I don't know why they would do that, but they do. Go ahead and register for it, because even if you don't attend, they'll send you the video. So it's still helpful. Also, right here, this I, where you see the 41, that's all my announcements of all the things that are coming. There's also a place right here, and I suggest you use it because it is helpful, because it doesn't go in a black hole. This feedback, if there's something, HMH, this is not working for my kids, I think it should be like this. They are responsive. That's why the structured literacy path came about. And as you can see, new improvements, attend live events, reminder, like there's a lot of resources. And there also will tell you, they will also show if there is a teacher resource that is created. You can go to Teachers Corner and the teacher's resource will be there. Teachers pay teachers in the back, stay away from teachers pay teachers when it comes to into reading. I shared earlier in the session, a teacher wanted like a boho rainbow slide to match her theme. So she paid for it, but it didn't align to what she needed, and she wasted her money. There are teacher-created resources, so you might find your boho rainbow slides. If you don't like the animals, whatever you might want, there are teacher resources that are vetted by HMH and aligned to whatever that strand of literacy is, and they are on there. And they are also, so we talked about Ed, our Teacher Success Pathway, Teacher's Corner. There's also an official Facebook group. And that Facebook group, it's run by HMH. So everything in there is vetted. You'll get direct answers from the company. And it's just a community and another place to share resources. I promise you, everything you can think of has already been created. So don't try to recreate it. And again, you have this slide so you can join that Facebook group. I heard that you guys, some of you already did this, the Teacher Success Camp. It'll be kind of hard now that you're back at school just because, you're teaching, getting your classroom together. But if you would like to attend, again, register and then get those recorded. So when you're able, you can watch those recordings. All right, before we do that, so I am going to hit our objectives again, and then if there's anything that you need me to expand on, then I'm going to allow you to plan. So today, we were able to talk about how into reading fits into your instructional block. Do you feel like you were able to do that? Whether or not you're not able to see how it quite fits yet, but how it can fit. How do you feel about that? Are you going to? I know you're tired. I don't know how they are about time because I would let you. Will they let you guys go earlier?
Sure. Yeah. We won't say anything.
All right, we were able to explore those resources on Ed, and then I was able to show you hopefully your next steps with your Teacher Success Pathway, that Facebook group, and Teacher's Corner. So how are you guys feeling? Are there any questions? Or it's like, look, Andrea, I just need a break. I need to go through my boxes and I'll be fine.
Yeah, there was a QR code for the Facebook group and I couldn't get my phone to work. Is there a way to make that a little larger?
I cannot, but friend, it is in your slide that you do have. You do have access to this.
Can you show us how to get there?
I'll email it.
These slides, that how-to guide in the beginning. I can try to go from let me see if I can. Here it is, the QR for the Facebook group. So it is a little bit larger for you right here. There will be more learning with HMH with the Mira and Waggle, and those are going to be your programs.
Philip. Miss Smith.
That's not what we want first.
So it does like a stringer first, and then it goes to but the garden version is more so it's a little bit different. That's always used as a first grade. They do them for first and that's first. And then based on that, so even if they're doing the oral let's say that they have grown, it'll give them a second to refresh, it'll give them a micro intervention on how to expose that word and then practice on rooted in the science of fill that survey out with this session code. I'm Andrea Stargill. I have this I actually enjoyed today. I thought I was gonna be exhausted because I flew in very late last night, but you all gave me energy. I appreciate all of you, and I hope I